Bien. Buenas tardes, Maren. En primer lugar, te tengo que dar las gracias
Hi.
por atender mis dos preguntas sobre emprendimiento en Estonia. Tenemos, creo que 7 horas de diferencia entre Perú y Estonia, ¿verdad? ¿Qué hora es en Tallinn, por favor?
We have 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's right about lunchtime here. So
Oh,
thank you very much for having me. Well,
okay.
maybe I can briefly introduce myself. My
Yes,
name is
please.
Maren Krimmer. I'm working as the principal business analyst at the e-residency team in Tallinn, Estonia.
Bien, Maren, aquí va la primera de mis dos preguntas. Y tiene que ver con el registro de la empresa en Estonia desde cualquier parte del mundo, ¿no? Esto el gobierno de Estonia lo permite bajo el sistema de e-residency. Muy bien, pero cuéntanos por favor cuál sería la ventaja para estos emprendedores alrededor del mundo y nómadas digitales el poder registrar la empresa en Estonia.
Oh, thank you so much. This is an excellent question because basically Estonia has so much to offer, especially because we have a huge variety of e-services. For example, if you would sign up for the Estonian e-residency, then you receive a government-issued smart ID card that provides digital identification and authorization. So the smart ID card will enable you to digitally sign important documents, access secure services, and make secure transactions, even if you don't live in Estonia. And this makes it so interesting. So basically, let me tell you a bit more than about our e-services and what you can do here remotely. So basically, yes, here in Estonia, it means that all the communication in the public sector, it can be done through a government-issued smart ID card. This is the same which you will receive as well when you are an e-resident. So this means that 99% of all the state services are online, and 98% of the population has as well this ID card. So with this, you can do so many things. You can fill in your tax declarations online. And as well, when you think about companies, 98% of the companies here are established online. And as well in the banking, 99% of banking is done online here as well. So this means basically you don't have to fill out so much paper. You're not always standing in lines in order to fill something out, to get a stamp on something. You don't have to go physically to the municipal office or the tax board. And you can do this all online. And this comes in very handy, especially as we have now so many restrictions in these times of COVID at the moment. And if you look at it, this means 98% of the companies, they get founded online through our e-business registry. And 95% of tax declarations are submitted online. And as well, yeah, like I mentioned before, almost all of the banking is done online. And this makes it very convenient as an e-resident to operate remotely when you have an Estonian company, because you can even open it entirely remotely. So I think here as well, if you want to, I can go a bit back to show you Estonia's timeline, how we embedded those e-things in our society. Okay, sure. But when we go back to Estonia's e-services, I think it's quite interesting because it gives you the context as well to the e-residency program, what we have now, and how it's possible to remotely operate everything. Because basically the first e-services were launched in 2000 in Estonia when government meetings were taken online. And from that very same year on, Estonia started to declare taxes online. So like I mentioned, we don't have to fill out papers. Basically, we simply check online the pre-filled form if info is correct. And if it is, we just submit it and it's done.
Wow.
In 2002, we got our digital signature. And in 2005, Estonia basically became the only country in the world that implemented internet voting in elections so early. So then what I meant, yes?
I just said we need something like this in Peru, maybe. Yeah.
Everyone needs it, I think,
Yeah.
especially now. It just makes it so convenient that you can just do so much from home. And I think for voting, especially, it is very interesting, but I think this is a huge different topic as well. And then in 2007, we added the e-business registry. And then as well, in the last decade, we started talking about the data embassy, which is backing up the public service Estonia has, and it's standing in Luxembourg. So, and then we have as well those invisible services. And this is excellent because basically the government will tell you what we need to do instead of us having to do research. It will remind us of when we have to pay taxes. It will remind us of, well, which social services are available for us. So I think when you take all of this into account, e-residency gives you this perfect opportunity as well to run your company remotely, because you can profit from all of this as well. And then again, with this e-residency card, you get your identification card. This gives the opportunity to open a company as well. And then, yes, you operate remotely.
It is possible even from Peru, isn't it?
It is possible from anywhere in the world.
Ok, gracias por tu respuesta, Maren. ¿Qué opinas acerca de la banca digital en Estonia? ¿En Estonia es muy común utilizar la banca digital? ¿Lo recomendarías? ¿O crees que incluso es mejor que la banca tradicional?
Well, in Estonia, we use both. For example, because I'm a citizen of Estonia as well, I have a traditional bank account at a traditional bank. But a lot of people use fintech banks as well, so digital banks speaking. Because basically we had regulatory changes in 2017. And now as well, this gives us the opportunity to open a bank account online using our eID, or in this case, the e-residency card. As well, a video recording, interview, and facial recognition technology. And here as well, even our traditional banks are working hard to develop technical solutions that will allow them as well, so that clients from all over the world could come from anywhere without a face-to-face meeting, but still to guarantee the security of customer identification. This is very important. And I think especially with COVID now, this day-to-day contact or customer contact has become less and less. So basically, even in Estonia, when we have a traditional bank, I never meet my customer support in person. I can do as well all my banking transactions online. With my digital ID card, I log onto my account, and from there, I can do all the operations online as well. But of course, as well, like you mentioned, and you're absolutely correct, in the context of e-residency, digital banks are very, very interesting. Because especially since 2019 as well, the share capital can be paid with any European payment institution who can provide the demanded certificate. And as a result of this, there are not so many cases where actually an e-residence company needs to get a bank account in Estonia. So you can use any European bank as well. But of course, digital bank accounts, or as well the so-called fintech solutions, are used very widely now as well. And then this digital bank account, well, as the name indicates, can be set up fully online, and it doesn't require you to travel to Estonia for this as well. So for example, here, a very popular company as well here is Wise, or it used to be TransferWise. I don't know if you have come across this probably.
No, en Perú todavía no son muy conocidos estos dos bancos, pero sí los he escuchado dentro de la gente que está buscando soluciones dentro del mundo de la banca digital.
Exactly. And I think here the advantage is as well that if you have transaction in different currency, it's supported very well, and usually is cheaper than traditional banks. And I think it's quite transparent generally about all the fees that will be applicable, especially when operating with different currencies. And I think those digital banks can be used very well as a business bank account now. And they integrate as well with other payment solutions that can be found online as well. So in a way, I think digital banks are a good option, especially as an e-resident, especially if you do not operate out of Europe, you do not have a European bank account. But of course, there are pluses and minuses as well. I mean, there are a lot of advantages of those fintech solutions. You have this accessibility from anywhere as well. I think all operations and all processes are rather quick, especially because it can be done through the internet. You don't have to go there in person. All this opening a banking account. No, it's done online basically. And this of course helps to save a lot of costs as well in the sense. But then again, I mean, there are always these disadvantages because basically you don't have the physical branch. And sometimes you just want your physical branch. You want to know where it is when there's a problem, where you can go, where you can see the person. So of course you have like this plus and minuses as well. And I think it needs to be seen because still this fintech area, it's big. It's very new, and I think there are a lot of things that can be regulated more or will be regulated more, but this is in the future. I mean, this we will see, of course.
But also they use the SWIFT code, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a formal bank, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, they will not issue your credit card like this, of course. But you know, still, it's usable as a business banking account. It's fine. And a lot of e-residents use this as well as a solution. Well, thank you so much. Muchas gracias for having me. I'm happy to answer any more questions. Please feel free to contact me anytime via email or on LinkedIn, or just drop an email. I think you can give out my contact details. I'm very happy to do this.
Okay. Muchas gracias, Maren.